Oh, sorry. Everyone, welcome to the Funcast. That's a hell of a way to
Are you
start.
okay, Ryan?
No. Trent has. You're not either. You said Monday Funcast. It is Tuesday Funcast.
Oh, damn it. I got the
Failure.
date right.
You get the
Shut
date.
it
No
down.
problem.
We're starting
Start
off
over.
terribly.
Hey, Twitter bots. We're very sorry for this failure.
Yeah.
As always, it's me, Ryan, your host. Above me is Bryant, Homer Bryant, and we have Trent, who you just can't quite kick that cold. I hope you get better, bud.
I can't. I've had it for, I'm working on my second week now. Got some
Well,
antibiotics Friday, so got the sinus infection, I think, under control, but just everything else is,
You got the good stuff.
man.
what
Yeah, it's
would you say you
terrible.
had a case of earlier?
What's that?
What did you say you had a case of though?
Um, a cold.
Oh no, I thought you said you had a case of having a 4-year-old.
Oh, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know what you were. Yes, I do have a case of having a 4-year-old. Like I said, she brings home two things from daycare: uh, pretty pictures that she colored and viruses. So,
But how
So
many more
you're
viruses and pictures right now?
well, it's about the same, man. It's every day. It's a stack of papers coming home.
Daddy, here's this picture of this nice flower. Also, come here and open your mouth, and then just
Yeah.
runs off.
Let me cough. I'll sneeze right into your eye.
you're not wrong, and I think a 2-year-old is worse too.
Oh man.
So we decided we're gonna add another one to our family and just make it so I'm not healthy for the next 10 years at least.
Yeah, there you go. Just
After
drag this out as long as you can, Ryan.
Yeah,
you have a kid for another couple presidential cycles, your immune system will catch up finally.
yeah, that's for sure. So as always, we can probably start with a little bit of football if you guys want. I know Bryant wants to talk about how Andy Reid likes ass.
Thanks. Well, yeah, no, it was just an article talking about the punter. Apparently, like they're like Andy Reid has some weird very specific things for different positions, and the one for punters is like once a punter doesn't have a big ass, they've got to go because there's a lot of power apparently in your gluteus maximus to kick a football. Apparently, if you don't got a big ass, he says you're done for, and he gets rid of them. So. Andy
Out of
Reid
here.
confirmed ass man.
Hey, I respect that.
Hey, the man knows what he likes, and just like Leo, once Leo's his is my line is 25. Once you're 26, you're out of here. Once you can
Yep.
legally rent a car, you ain't Leo's girlfriend no more. Andy Reid, you don't have a big ass, you ain't punting for us anymore.
So is that what he does at the combine? He just goes and measures asses, and he's just like, "Yep, you're my
I,
man."
I think what happened is Mrs. Andy Reid was searching his phone one night and she goes, "Why does your phone say thick Latinas on it?" And he goes, I'm looking for the next punter of the Kansas City Chiefs, babe. She
The
needs
next day, then he just to keep the lie going, he traded Tommy Townsend to Houston.
got a flat ass over there. Yeah, he's got the long hair, nice long girl hair. It's nice, but
So I can just see the conversation in Andy's office, like, "So I got caught, Tommy. I'm sorry. You're caught up in this. I gotta send you. Sorry."
unless you got a Minaj coming next weekend, I think we got to get you the hell out of here. We're gonna
Uh,
instead of Megan the Stallion, they're gonna have Megan the Punter, and they're just going to crush records next year.
it's funny. Anything else, Chiefs?
Um, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to think of quickly how I could change PFF to like a pretty fat ass, and I couldn't think of it fast. Pretty fat fanny. So he
Yeah,
does look
that's
at
right.
the PFF scores. There we go. I was trying to think of how I could relate it to your guys' GM, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
um,
that's right.
I did you guys see L'Jarius Sneed got traded?
Is that official?
Yeah, that was official with the Titans.
Okay.
And as much as it sucks, you know what the crazy thing is? I'm not even. I think it's one I've been expecting in a while, so it's not. Once you've like that one was the longest drawn out trade where it's just like, can we get him to some team so I can just move on from I don't want to either be on the team or like move on so we can just know what we're dealing with, right?
Mhm.
But I know there's a lot of people early on that are like, man, getting rid of L'Jarius Sneed, part of this huge defense. He's a great defender. With how we've been drafting cornerbacks and secondary, it's not terrible, and it opens up enough room to maybe start paying some of these other defensive players because we're going to have people at every line of the defense. And
Mhm.
let's be honest, we might still need to make a move for another wide receiver. I know we got Hollywood Brown, but I mean, I don't know what all the moves are going to make are, but they got to solidify the line so Mahomes doesn't get hit, and they got to solidify some defensive pieces because we have a lot that are leaving at this point. So, it's just like any dynasty or any winning team, you're going to lose the higher producing ones that are going to get way overpaid, and even your middle of the road lesser known guys, well, not lesser known, but like Willie Gay, he was getting 5 million guaranteed from the Saints, and it's I don't know why we couldn't have matched that somehow, but like you can't expect everyone to take hometown discounts, so that adds 20 million to our cap, and we'll make something of it. They always do. We went from I think it was like 5 years ago. What wasn't it? Only had 500,000 or like in the hundreds of cap space, and then they signed Mahomes to $500 million, and it like worked out better somehow. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the cap is. I don't understand it. I don't know how they calculate it. Veach does, and that's the most important thing. He's the one running that shit. So
Well, the nice thing is you guys will always draft a good cornerback. You just won't, you just don't do wide receivers.
yeah, no. If we could somehow just adopt, how about this? You guys need a quarterback real bad. We need wide receivers. Let's just trade GMs for like the first couple rounds this draft, and then we just trade them back because you can still find your steals and wide receivers later, and
Yeah.
we can help you find the one quarterback you want for the future.
Mhm.
Vikings quarterback JJ McCarthy.
So if you need defensive backs and you're real late in that first round, I know a guy played for Iowa State who will probably be
Oh
there.
yeah.
TJ Tampa to the Chiefs.
I'll be
What do you
honest,
think,
I wouldn't
Brian?
love that. First round,
No,
no. Second, third round, I'd be okay with that. But he won't
I've
fall
seen
out.
mock drafts with him like at 25.
I
Yeah,
don't know, man. He did okay this year. I say okay, like for his standard, okay. Like he wasn't quite all American, but it was just
but I
I don't
think
know.
he
We'll have to
he wasn't exactly getting picked on, but he was not getting balls thrown at him either.
see. Exactly. So it's almost like I haven't seen him. Do we really play anyone elite quarterback this
I
year?
mean, Texas had the elite
Quinn Ewers.
receivers.
Yeah. I think they had a couple, but it's like now that we know Xavier Worthy's running 4-2, 4-2-1, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, yeah, if you can cover him somewhat, that you're doing fucking amazing.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, it was just one of these like a lot of moves by the Chiefs lately. Other than the only other big move, but I know Ryan don't want to talk about it, is Kelsey and Taylor Swift are found on some private beach. Somehow private where no one else is there, but somehow I never get how you're paparazzi and you buy thousands of dollars worth of equipment to spy on people. Like, wouldn't you feel like dirty, like extremely dirty? Hey, I'm just informing the public of this couple trying to live their life from half a mile away with your telescope. That's very odd.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a heck really.
On a not so private beach, it sounds like.
I'd be more proud if my son and or daughter said they were a prostitute rather than a popper. Like it'd be like, okay, ends meet or OnlyFans. And then if my other son or daughter said, I'm a paparazzi cameraman, I'd be like, get out. You're disowned from this family and you're out of the will. What a disgusting person you are. We raised you better than this. I thought you went to church when you were younger and you knew right from wrong. Paparazzi cameraman, get the fuck out of here. I've never. I should just set up a sign out outside my apartment, no paparazzi allowed, so they know that they're not welcome in my apartment.
Yeah. And they know somebody is living in there that's worth spying
That
on.
all it's going to do is going to bring them out of the woodwork. Now all of a sudden
Mhm.
they're just going to be in the cornfield out there taking photos from a quarter mile away.
Yep.
Hey, is that Homer Bryant I see over there?
Yeah.
He says he doesn't want us here. Terrible.
You have to get one of those scarves that reflects the flash so it ruins the picture. Have you seen those?
Ooh, yeah, the reflective, or
Yeah.
I'll pull the oh, which celebrity was it? Wore the same thing like for a week straight. I think it was Daniel Radcliffe. He kept wearing the same clothes every day, so they couldn't resell new photos of him every single day. Like it's so funny when you hear stuff like that because it's like, holy shit, that's the most brilliant thing I've ever heard. And all they did was be lazy and not do laundry like I do. But
Yeah.
you know, it's a celebrity, so it's really, really smart on their part. So, any news with the Vikings? I'll be honest, I haven't seen anything ever since they had that splash early on with all those defensive players. I don't know if I've heard one thing about them.
It's the free agency and the Vikings. They still have their heads stuck in the sand like an ostrich.
Well, they
Hey,
got to
we've
figure out.
done some stuff this time.
Yeah. I think they're positioning themselves to make a move in the first round to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, KOC was on Mac Day, and he but said that exactly. I mean, it was pretty obvious
Yeah.
reading between the lines. It's just a matter of who. I mean, and it's a new smokescreen every day, really. I mean, JJ McCarthy went from being late first round to now they're talking about Washington wanting him with the second pick. I mean, who knows?
That's why Jim Harbaugh is bad for the league.
I've heard,
Hyping him up.
rumors that Harbaugh wants to draft him.
And Herbert's like, please, can I be on a team that doesn't give up 63 points to the Raiders? Trade me anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah. Vikings. Hey, I'd take Herbert.
Trade me to the WNBA, please. At least when they give up 60 points, that's a good night.
So both Washington and New England are saying they're willing to listen to offers for their picks. If McCarthy does go second, I am 100%. We're connected to McCarthy and Drake May more than anybody. But say Washington does flip to wanting McCarthy, I'm 100% sell the farm for Jaden Daniels. Just do it.
Obviously, he didn't have to carry or do a lot in college with JJ, and that's why we always give him a lot of shit because it's like you never had to. You had two NFL running backs behind you behind an NFL line. Of course, anyone's going to look good even in the limited time, but like I would feel way more comfortable with Jaden Daniels. Same thing. Hey, I had a defense that would give up everything. I had to score every single possession in order for that team to win. Having a guy with that much pressure and he's playing against SEC defenses, I mean, I feel
Just gonna
pretty
say
good
that
if my team drafted him.
somebody who actually threw the ball a lot and he's playing against SEC defenses, I'd feel more comfortable with that than JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
Yeah, I was maybe I'm wrong. You guys know more about college football players than I do. So I was trying to explain this to my father-in-law a little bit. I was saying
Mhm.
Caleb Williams probably to me. I'm probably way off on this, but I think he's the biggest bust potential. I just do. I don't know what it is about him. I just think he's the biggest bust potential.
I think someone's trying to get the pressure off of Jamarcus Russell, the LSU fan here, is trying to make us all forget about. No,
I'm just talking about. I'm talking about this class. I'm not talking all time. Drake May. I don't know. His floor could be pretty low. His ceiling could be pretty high. I maybe compared him to potentially Josh Allen. Strong arm, bigger body guy that can run a little bit. Probably not as strong of an arm, but could be wrong on that one. That's just how I kind of compared him. JJ McCarthy, I don't know. I didn't have a comparison for him. I thought with Jane Daniels, you have someone who could maybe go to the NFL and completely fall on his face. But I also feel like he's the one with the highest ceiling. I feel like he is of all of them the one that could be the magician like Pat Mahomes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and going back to your point on Caleb Williams, it's like what they're saying about him, he better be a hit. Because, man, if he's not, he's going to the Bears. Like, let's be real. Like,
Yeah.
we thought Price said the same stuff about Justin Fields. Look where he went, to the Bears, and they did nothing with him.
Did we talk
Trubisky,
about that last week? How the Bears actually did right by him,
But
by Justin Fields.
I don't know, did we?
No.
Either way, I
Oh, we
mean,
didn't
if
do it
not,
last week.
just quickly, they had better offers, but the Bears traded Justin to where he wanted to go and got
Mhm.
less from it. And I thought that was like we can shit on the Bears all they want, but very few organizations are even in the business of like what's best for the individual. Let's
Yeah.
they could have gotten a third, second or third for the guy. Instead, they're willingly taking a sixth for a guy that basically tried it out for 4 years, gave no help, and then now that everything's lined up, is giving the reins to a new guy. It's like that's the least you could have done is put him in a situation he'd rather be in rather than shitting all over him for 4 years and then drafting his replacement.
So if you're a Steelers fan, who do you want to start, Russ Wilson or Justin Fields?
I think right now Russ Wilson.
I would
I'm
agree.
going Fields.
Well, I'm going Russ Wilson.
Yeah,
I mean, does
I am
it
too.
matter? Like, I just don't see. I mean, Russ proved the last how many years with Denver that he was not good.
I'm not going to knock the poor man for trying to make Denver work. Denver literally went. Denver is definitely the epitome of like, do we have a Hall of Fame quarterback? Okay, otherwise we're not going to do anything. They have to have a because even they're pretty goods. Tim Tebow and Jake Plummer just don't do shit. They either have to have the greatest of all time Peyton Manning or bust.
I mean, if you want to say Hall of Fame quarterback, Russ's time in Seattle, if he would have kept doing that, you could say that he was maybe going to be a Hall of Famer.
Does he have 2 titles?
He has one.
No, one. He's been there twice, lost one.
He threw an interception on the 1 yard line versus the Patriots.
Really?
To
It seems like
one.
it just feels like he should have 2 or I don't know why. It's taking too long to find his Wikipedia page.
There's something with
I guess just one.
him and Mike Tomlin will have a decent relationship. I think he'll get back to
Yes.
that.
Because Tomlin's not going to allow that click bullshit that he was. I need multiple offices and I need multiple cars. Tomlin's gonna be like, you can get your fucking one, and he's gonna. I think the just national embarrassment that he's been the last couple of years. He can do the corny ads all he wants because the only reason the corny ads are funny is because he absolutely shit the bed on the field. If it was Peyton Manning doing corny commercials and then throwing 50 touchdowns this season, people are going, I hate that commercial because he's just so fucking good. He gets to act corny. You don't be corny and then be bad at your job either.
And with Mike Tomlin, I don't think it matters who starts between those two. Because Mike Tomlin, let's be real, he's gonna win. He's never had a losing season, so he's gonna win 10 games.
9 or 10 games, yeah.
Yep.
And get to the playoffs.
And he's also going to get the best out of his players, even Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, man.
Yeah.
Both talented, but the talent didn't translate to lesser coaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is the last 4 years he's had the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger. He's had Trubisky. He's had Pickett. He's Mason Rudolph. He hasn't had good. And then you throw in Matt Canada. He hasn't had a good situation there. I think Russ will probably be better for them.
Mm-hmm.
But they also only have the one wide receiver now too.
Well, we've talked about it as well. How valuable is having legitimately having a starter as backup? I feel just fine. Like if Mahomes was going to sit out a series, a half, or say he was out a couple games, I think it's Blaine Gabbert right now for us. I'd feel fine that we get enough done. And no one wants their backup to be like no one wants to know their backup's name, to be honest. But knowing that Gabbert was our backup and Chad Henne, hey, that's a guy that I've seen win some big time moments in college and been a starter. I've seen him do it. With them having Fields on the sideline, it's also, hey Russ, you can't get comfortable, man. If you start shitting the bed for a 2 or 3 week skid, we can just move on to this kid, and he's way cheaper. Well, actually, they're both equal in pay, but
look at us Vikings fans. Hey, your quarterback goes down. Oh God, who's behind him?
We
Oh
got to know
Jesus!
the names of 3 backups.
Unfortunately,
Jaron Hall, a name you'd never
Ooh.
want to ever announced out there, other than
Whereas,
Jaron
like,
Hall is getting more Gatorade for his teammates.
yeah.
That's the only thing you'd want to hear.
Whereas, like, if Russ goes down for the Steelers, it's like, okay, well, still got Justin Fields. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's a starter.
It's
I
surprising me
wouldn't
that there
hate it.
wasn't a single team that was looking for a starter for him to go on to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Enough of a competitor either. You know, everyone that's low in the draft that does need a quarterback, they're just going to go super young. They're not going to go for a guy that failed the Bears. You know, they're just going to go with someone fresh, some more can get some more miles out of those tires. You know, they're
You're
going to go younger.
you're telling me Vegas doesn't need a starter. You're telling me Seattle doesn't need a starter. I mean, it's
Antonio Pierce said Aiden O'Connell's their man for the time being.
good. I hope
Uh,
for Bryant, for your sake, I hope he is.
He beat us last year. I can't talk shit about him, man. He started and he beat us because he was the one quarterback that didn't do a bunch of stupid shit. He also didn't do anything to win the game. He threw for 72 yards, I think,
Yeah.
but he didn't lose them the game either.
Yep.
game manager. It's like Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
Same stats.
I didn't want to bring it up earlier, Trent, but when we were talking JJ McCarthy, I was looking at like the mock rankings, and it said JJ McCarthy, much like San Francisco's Brock Purdy, proves that poise and talking about all the what the fuck am I trying to say? Intangibles. There we go. All the intangibles. That's what makes JJ McCarthy great. I'm like, you get that shit out of your mouth saying that Brock Purdy and JJ McCarthy are the same, man.
So what you're saying is whoever drafts him is going to be in their conference championship game the next 2 years, his 1st 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, Vikings should draft him then.
It seems,
You know what?
hey, his stock is rising. He may be the real deal.
Yeah.
JJ
Yeah,
gets
it seems like everyone's impressed by him.
Gets the right coach. It's just going to be like, are they going to be able to, like the Bears? Guess whose shoulder that's all falling on? That's all falling on Caleb's shoulders. And what we all have questioned, can he handle that? He's been the man at 2 different universities for 3 full years and never been able to take him to the next step. You know, JJ has. Yeah, he had a bunch of talent around him, but you could make the argument so did Caleb.
So
At least
yeah,
on
so does
offense.
Oklahoma and USC.
Yeah. Well, USC defense. I'm not going to say there's any
Oh,
talent on
God.
that side. Sorry, that you give up like an average of 38 points. There's zero talent in my opinion on that side. So I don't know. It's fun to it's also just fun to shit on him because then you have Harbaugh stretching his khakis out, talking about how much he loves them and blah blah. Like legitimately, I think they just need to trade Herbert, get JJ McCarthy, and just make this the lot. Where the fuck are they again? Los Angeles. Make the Los Angeles Wolverines. Just start drafting all the Michigan players you love. Is Mazzie Smith still available? Let's get him over here.
I don't know. It's I really hope I'm looking forward to the draft coming soon. It's just every day it's something different. So let's just get it done with. Let's see who we're hitching our wagon to, and yeah.
Do you want to hear why it's bad to draft at 32? It's just awful. You just see everyone else before you get there, like honestly every player you wanted before you. Like if someone drafts TJ Tampa at 27, as much as I was just like, I don't really want him. You're just like, oh, fuck, that could have been our guy. You always think that everyone drafting before you never think you have the steal of the draft until you see the production on the field.
Must really suck to be a dynasty and have to watch 31 teams draft in front of you.
I was waiting for one of you to get angry when I was saying something like that. You all just like, yeah, that sounds terrible, Brian. I'm so sorry for you.
We'll take your word for it because we don't know about that, I guess.
We're going to be drafting at the latest 11, but probably 3 or 4.
You guys let me do that way too long. You'll be drafting it.
I wanted you to finish. I was going to humor you. I wanted you to get through your whole spiel.
You guys will be drafting at 24 to 28 soon enough. Trust me. You got a couple pieces. You'll be there.
I think if we get the right quarterback, I don't think we're far off. I think we filled some. I think our linebacking core is going to be way better this year after the free agency. I do. Losing Daniil Hunter is going to be big, but we've got the dude from the Texans that's pretty legit too. So I don't know. I feel like Brian Flores got some good pieces, and if we can get a corner or two, I think we'll be okay.
Now, real quick, did you get any guys that can swim and do some maneuvers for the new kickoff rule?
Oh, we've had that guy for years waiting to get his chance.
Just waiting for the NFL to change the kickoff rules, and finally.
And his name is
Kene
Nwangu.
Nwangu.
Exactly. Iowa State prodigy who didn't really start.
Because he was behind Brees Hall and David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Here's my hot take. He will be the best kick returner this season.
Ooh, I like it.
With this new rule.
That ain't a hot take, Ryan. That's fact.
Specifically that same position, everyone on the Chiefs is like, you know what? Just make Kadarius Toney the returner. Full-time returner. That's his only thing. And running out of the backfield. And as much as I heard, like,
catch the kickoff.
Well, exactly. One, there's no routes, but also when they're talking about it, it's like, because also it's going to hurt our cap space if we cut him, and it's like you might as well make him the number one returner and just save some money. And again, maybe they focus this whole offseason on, this sounds bad, learning football. Hey, where do you line up? And just repetitive, and teach him that. And maybe he can be a serviceable wide receiver that we can work into games. Because towards the end of the year, you saw it. The running joke, and I agreed with it, was, hey, Kadarius Toney is injured. He's going to be out. And everyone would go, that's a devastating blow for the other team because he was just so bad. But I don't know. Anything that's going to hurt us money-wise, I mean, you can't tell me as bad as Kadarius Toney is, you wouldn't be okay with him being wide receiver 6 to 8, getting paid his $3 million or whatever. He's still on his rookie deal, and just, hey, why don't you focus on being the best punt and kick returner, man? Who cares at this point, And we'll work you in some reps so you can try and get your next contract.
What are your thoughts on the new kickoff rule?
Do you think there'll be more returns?
Oh, absolutely.
Long returns? I do too.
Oh, long return. Well, yeah.
Yeah, like touchdown.
I think there's only 20% returned, wasn't it? It was some crazy, like 1 in 5, basically.
Yeah.
You're at least going to create a play. There's less impact of like a hard hit. And yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if I don't do it. Is there any way to know how many returns scored touchdowns in the NFL last year?
I'm sure Google knows.
Yeah.
I put return TDs last year for 2023. There's a bunch of guys with 1, oh my God, that wasn't even last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that might be okay. That's punt. Sorry, that's punt returns for touchdowns. Kick returns for touchdowns in 2023. It didn't tell me the year 2023.
All right. So in 2023, 21.8% of all kicks were returned.
Four touchdowns last year in 2023.
That's
kick
it.
returns. I bet you they minimum triple that with the new kickoff rules, which will be way more interesting, way more fun.
And it's going to be led by Kenny.
Yep, he might have 12 himself.
It's very possible.
All right, we're going to have to come up with a bet with who has more return TDs, Toney or Kenny.
I'll take that bet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later on. But,
yeah.
But
and
no,
who fumbles less kickoffs?
Oh, no. Well, what do you want me to pay you? I'll just Venmo you right now because I know that will be the
$1 billion.
So
I'm okay with the new trade because this isn't something where we're eliminating something. We're trying to create more of a play, something more for the game.
Yeah.
So here's the XFL had 341 kickoffs in 2023 while playing 40 games.
Mhm.
So 341 over 40. The NFL had 587 while playing 272 games. So the XFL had 8.5 a game. The NFL
Mhm.
averaged 2.2 per game.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And how often were the 2.2 late in games where it's just like we're trying to force them to squib it and and return it,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
throw
those
the clock
count.
out.
Yep.
Good
So
question.
now I got another question unless you got more on the kickoff return.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Do you guys still have your Peacock subscription?
Oh, I'll be watching the
Surprising.
first game.
Yes, I do. Unfortunately,
All right, good, because you'll be ready to watch opening day. Eagles Browns.
isn't that dumb?
We knew what it was last year. Everyone called it, and everyone, you can't afford $6. Congrats! Now you don't get to watch opening day because fuck you. The NFL needs to make a little bit more money.
That's the stupid thing is we're talking the opening game. Now you mentioned, I'm not gonna say how you said it, but we're talking the Eagles
Thank
and the
you.
Browns. Like it's not a game. It's not must watch TV, but we're also going to be on the edge of what 6 months without football. Everyone's going to be dying to watch this
Yeah.
game. Oh wait, I need my Peacock subscription.
Yeah, one of the quarterbacks you don't want to leave your wife or daughter in a room with him alone. The other one is best known for a play that now doesn't involve the better half of him, Jason Kelsey, blocking on a 1 yard run. Boy,
Mhm.
I'm ready for opening night, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
You know,
that's gotta be if you think about it, just one small like that portion. Usually it's like, hey, these are big shoulder pads to fill. Mahomes is out. Who's the backup? That's gotta be some of the biggest shoulder pads to fill. Jason the new center for the Eagles. You're gonna have all eyes on you going. Kelsey did it better last year. Kelsey still could do it better. It's like I feel bad for whoever they pick up.
Yeah, with that being on Peacock, the argument to having Peacock do these games still is, geez, it rated so well last year in the playoffs with the Chiefs and the Dolphins, but that was still the
Yeah.
lowest rated game in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Now take the game with the high flying offense versus the return the previous champion and the biggest star in the NFL. Let's replace it with a rapist and a running back at quarterback. I'll say what I said, Ryan. I don't care. Like I'm sorry, you don't have 26 counts of oops, actually that didn't happen. And also, oops, it didn't happen, but let's settle out of the court for the whoopsie daisies. Like, come on.
I wasn't saying you were wrong. I just wasn't going to say it.
No, that's fine. I'll say it. Great. Now we're gonna get sued by Deshaun, and we're gonna lose all $54 in our studio account here. Bullshit.
The question too is he actually going to be playing? Because it seems to be he has a hard time actually playing with that guaranteed money.
Amazing. He is so selfish. He goes, I'm getting paid. Like he's fucked that type of contract for anyone else ever. They're gonna go, oh, you want fully guaranteed money, Deshaun Watson. That's why we're not paying you full time money. Same thing with the Le'Veon Bell. Well, I'm gonna hold out. Oh, and then when you held out, and then you got the big contract, and then you pooped the bed. Congrats, you fucked up the running back market for the next decade. Congrats, buddy. I'm glad you felt that this was the way to approach it because everyone told you it wasn't, and you completely fucked it.
That was potentially the worst trade and signing ever. Like just terrible. And of
Yeah,
course, it was the Browns who did it.
desperate. I mean, when you back a rat into a corner, he's just going to pop out at you. They only had so many moves. They had to sign the guy that had 27 sexual assault cases against him. Man, what were they going to do? Just draft a new guy or keep the guy that led him to a playoff win? What do you think? It's just that easy?
Mhm.
So fucking stupid, man. And now the other guy has a new $100 million contract and won another playoff game with a different team. I mean, just comical.
Yes, it's great. That was when I lost a lot of respect for Stefanski. He was a Vikings lifetime coach basically, and then he goes to the Browns. And no, Baker, I know you got our first playoff appearance in years, but you know what? We're gonna get rid of you for this guy that he likes massage parlors a little too much, but
Yeah,
it is what it
hasn't
is.
played in a year too, he's definitely not rusty to the game.
He's
And
fresh.
also, he will be suspended when we first bring him on, so he can't even play when we bring him on.
Yeah, he can't play the first third of the season.
We're gonna look at that in 5 years from now, and in the future, and when everyone goes like, "What? Why are the Browns so bad?" And I'll go, "Let me tell you about one of their better blockbuster trades that they made." And then you're just gonna see a room full of people shaking their head, going, "What the fuck? Why would they do that?" Because they're morons. The only good thing the Browns have ever done in the draft or to help themselves was when they made the movie Draft Day. That's the only reason. It makes them look somewhat better. Thanks, Kevin Costner, for giving us some of your character, to make our team look better.
I was at the start of the Dutton family there.
Yes. Before he moved out to Montana.
It all started with the Cleveland Browns.
Here's my daughter, Beth. Beth, don't be such a drunk asshole.
But I'm a hard nose, and I know what I like, and I also like to drink like the boys. Oh, she's a powerful character right there.
I'm just like Beth. Woo!
And that's the premise of the whole series.
What's
Why watch it? You heard that.
what's the guy that all the ladies slip in their seat over? The one with the black beard.
Yeah, Rip.
It's like
Rip
Randy
Rip.
or something.
It's Rip.
Brett. It's a one syllable word.
Rip.
Rip. I knew it. I thought it was red. But yeah, Rip. Oh, Rip.
We watched the first 4 seasons really quickly, and it was enjoyable. I'll give it that. And then we got Peacock to be able to watch the 5th season, and we watched I think 3 episodes of the 5th, and life got a little busy, and we haven't gotten back to it. I'm just like, I am not in a hurry to get back to it again. Like I'm just the more it's just like it's the same bullshit over and over again every season. I'm just kind of done with it.
Yeah, Katrina started watching it, so I'm in the same house too, and it's on. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, there's just too much going on.
Yeah,
Like
for a cowboy family.
The 8 side stories. Like I don't need to know all this.
Yeah. And then you learn
For being in the
you
middle of
learn
Montana, a lot of shit going on.
Then you learn that Taylor Sheridan is just a complete asshole, and it's just like, why am I watching this too? Just because this guy's a dick also, and does the same series over and over again now.
The only good part is the music.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell's Taylor Sheridan?
Taylor Sheridan's the guy that creates all those shows.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think of an actor. Yeah, I've heard about that guy. He's not the best character.
No, he so did you watch Yellowstone, Bryant?
If it's on TV, I will, but like I don't actively
But
watch it.
you've seen most of it, or what?
Go on. I'll know what you're talking about.
So there's the character, I can't remember. It might be Chris. Comes from Texas. He's a cowboy that does training and stuff, and he's like a badass and stuff. That's Taylor Sheridan.
So what, he directs it and he's a character in it?
Yeah, he's not in a ton of episodes, but he's in a handful, I would say. I can't remember what the character
Okay,
is.
here we go. Yeah. He looks a little cowboyish.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he is. He is very much a cowboy rancher. He actually owns the big, what is it, ranch,
And he put himself in 1883.
Yep. Yeah, he's the M. Night of cowboys, basically.
God, I was just gonna say that. He's the M. Night Shyamalan of TV series.
Yeah, and I mean he plays a good cowboy because he is an actual cowboy. But I mean, Cole Hauser, who plays Rip,
Mhm.
he sued Cole Hauser because on copyright infringement for a coffee company because his coffee company's logo looked a lot closer, really close to his coffee company's logo. So he's suing his like most popular character basically.
Oh, it looks like he finally dropped it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, against Cole Hauser's Free Reign, spelled
Yeah.
Rein, the Java battle. Bosque Ranch. Yeah, doesn't even sound like a good coffee.
Oh. I mean, he said good stuff. Wind River, that was a good movie. Sicario. He's not a bad creator. It's just he's taken on so many projects that you can't be good at it, as many as you've done now.
I think my favorite instance, because like you said, he's a cowboy and ranger. He knows, and he puts himself in this situation because he knows the part, right?
Yeah.
I think my favorite situation of a director or creator or whatever putting themselves into their own project. Oh shit, I cannot remember what movie it was, but it was the movie where Salma Hayek poured tequila down her foot, and
From
then
Dusk Till Dawn.
thank you from Dusk, and it poured it into the guy's mouth, and Quentin Tarantino, known foot fetish guy, goes, we need to cast someone to lick this tequila off a beautiful woman's foot. Who should we cast? They go through days of casting. You know what? These guys don't quite got it. I know what vision I have in my head. I think I'll just play the part. I'll do it. I'll sacrifice. It's yucky. I know, but I'll do
That
it.
is one of my like all-time favorite movies. It is definitely a guilty pleasure movie for me. And that soundtrack is one of the greatest soundtracks ever.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it
But
again. It's been a minute since I have.
yeah, it is a guilty pleasure movie for me. Speaking of which though, we're talking there's a Quentin Tarantino's fetish on the map there.
Oh, do you get the map to pull up?
Oh, I don't. I can send it to our Twitter. Here we go. I'll send it to our
Yeah,
Twitter.
send it over, Trent, if you don't mind pulling that up, because my computer just froze as I was trying to look up Taylor Sheridan coffee lawsuit. Google was working overtime trying to pull that one. But no, I think from the preliminary look of that map, I don't think Quentin's is quite on there. But I didn't check every single state either.
All right, Trent should be sending over to you.
Got it.
Is he from? I'm looking at it right now. He's not from Kansas, is he? Where the fetish map shows sports gear.
Can we just that's also Wisconsin. You know that there was someone in the bedroom. He's just all right, boys. All right, this is the night. I'm gonna put on my Aaron Rodgers jersey and we're gonna get going here.
Oh, you went way more. I was thinking, not to be gross, I was thinking like baseball bat. Like, I was like, what do you mean sports gear?
It's
jerseys make a lot more sense.
that would be my guess, but you know what? Baseball bat might be it too. You know what? I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know I don't want to speak that smartly about Wisconsinites or Packers fans in general, where I just know they're in their bedroom getting down in Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre jerseys.
Oh, hey there. No, that's Minnesota. I was gonna say, oh, hey there, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm trying to zoom this in, but it won't let me zoom in.
Twitter doesn't. It's weird.
God.
And Minnesota is perfect for edge play because we're just this close to getting to that last. We're just that close to glory, and it goes away.
I'm looking up sports gear. I don't get this. There's nothing that makes sense. A lot of yoga.
Well, I mean, it's just like I'm surprised that sports gear isn't Missouri because the Pat Mahomes jersey stays on during sex, ladies. Is that what you say?
That's more. It's the couples with the matching Travis Kelce,
Okay.
Taylor Swift jerseys, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe they're just big Eli Drinkowitz, Mizzou head coach. Maybe they're wearing his windbreaker and glasses and shit. I don't know.
I'm confused. So with suits, is that like actual suits, or is that the show suits, or what's the what are we talking about here?
Got to be
Harvey?
dressed up.
No, no, that's suits with the handsome guy named Harvey, and then there's the goober that's bald and kind of moon faced, but I don't know his name. That's suits with Meghan Markle.
Yeah, Meghan Markle. Yeah,
Meghan Markle. That's it.
Megan.
Megan, whatever. The one that blew up the British family. They have an estranged grandson now. The grandmother died. Then
Now they
the
live in
king that's now
Canada.
king when he's 95 has cancer, and then who was what's her name? Kate Middleton. She has cancer now.
Cancer. Yeah. Have you seen the South Park episode of them?
Yes,
When they just want to
wanting
be,
leave
they
us alone.
just leave us alone. We don't want any attention. They just do everything for attention.
Bringing fireworks out and dancing naked on the lawn, and why won't you leave us alone? We're just trying to live our lives in peace.
And Prince Harry could be in a little bit of trouble because he got named along with Diddy. I don't know if you saw what's going on with Diddy, but
He's on the
with
private
Diddy?
jet with Diddy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that I don't know what's all going on with that. All I know is everyone's very funny online and apparently knew about this, and I'm just out of the loop at this point.
just rumors of sex trafficking and stuff like that. He decided his home was getting raided, so he was just gonna take off to Antigua, I guess.
Yeah, somewhere with some good not diplomatic immunity is wrong. What am I trying to say?
We can't be extradited back to the
There we
United
go.
States.
It's extradition. Good extradition laws.
Yeah.
Go to old Switzerland or the Vatican. You know, just classic vacation spots for P. Diddy.
You know, this I'm trying to figure out. We got Nevada with armpits. I mean,
Go on. Explain your feelings on armpits here, Ryan.
I mean,
I can't. Like, it's just why?
What my opinion on it is, I was going to say is, you'll know when you see a bad one. I'm not going to say any of them are good, but you'll know when it's a turn off. That's.
I just Idaho erotic electrostimulation.
Whoa, easy. They
don't crank the voltage too high, or you might die during.
Yeah,
this.
they saw their cattle get near the fence, and they go, "I want to have a go," and then that's where it all started, I think.
And I'm pretty proud of Clark and Joey. They're into used underwear over there in Missouri.
Congrats! You were lazy and didn't do your laundry as much. Is that what that one's about?
That sounds like a Missouri thing.
Towels, by the way.
South Carolina's fetish map on the fetish map here. They must really be into South Carolina women's basketball because theirs is dominance. So I don't know until the LSU girls come along.
Dude, it's not happening this year. It's just not.
I don't think so either. They look too.
I'm all about LSU, but they are not the same team as last year. Wait, there's enough for Connecticut. There's just enough of a space there. I know it's sadism, but I was thinking it was sadism. I'm like, oh, you guys are into being sad or what?
Well, you might be sad afterwards. I don't know. No, a little different.
And then Michigan makes sense. Humiliation. You're a Detroit fan. Come on, you know.
Yeah, I mean. You saw what MJ did to the Pistons all those years. You know, until Michigan this year. I mean, what was the last championship I'm going to say real championship. I just mean like a major one. I don't count hockey as a major championship either. There's 8 teams that compete for that natty every year out of 400 colleges. You know, 8 of them give a shit about it. That don't count. You might as well be the best. men's gymnastics school at that point.
I mean, you're gonna take that to the bedroom though, where it's just like, okay, I'm so depressed and humiliated wearing my Lions gear, my Tigers gear, my Pistons gear. You know what? Let me type my feelings in
What
the search on YouPorn on
now
Pornhub.
for this? Because again, it's if you're going to go humiliation, you're going to go all out. What's the worst jersey you could wear in that situation? I think
Dan Orlovsky.
yeah,
So they got
Dan,
their Ben Wallace jersey from the early
yeah.
2000s.
A Dan Orlovsky jersey that has a midriff, and then when he's going, "Are you ready?" and she's like, "Yeah, bring it in," and then you run out of bounds out of the bedroom. I think that would be the most humiliation that you could get out of wearing a Lions sports jersey while having sex. You know?
This is where I have to laugh. Going back to football, Dan Orlovsky on ESPN is like the QB guru. Number one, he wasn't a
Mm.
terrible quarterback, but he wasn't great. But some of the things he says, it's like, how are you the guy they hired? Last year, he was saying that Justin Fields was going to be the undisputed MVP, and just every year he's got weird crap that he says.
That's
Yeah.
95% of ESPN. It's like, how are you the one that got this job?
True.
Hey, and there's a difference between him being the main man, because Stephen A is just the top one at everything. He doesn't know a lot about everything. He just talks the most about everything.
Well, if
But
you
like, how
talk
are
the
you?
loudest, it means you know what you're talking about.
And he's the loudest and says the largest words incorrectly,
Yeah.
but loudly. So, but no, like again, like Dan Orlovsky, and you know, there's going to be some hot takes like Justin Fields being the best QB or whatever that just aren't going to stick. I'm even okay with that, but like you hear some of the analysis, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this isn't the ESPN Plus announcers of a A10 basketball game where it's like you're not getting cream of the crop here. You're not getting Kevin Harlan. You know, you're going to get who you get, but like Dan Orlovsky is the best. The guy who doesn't know how to stay in bounds on a play, nah.
He thinks the football field is 111 yards long.
Oops. That's humiliating.
You know, I was kind of on ESPN too. Every once in a while, they have they have plays of being 8,
Hmm.
and so they have we had dodgeball, have dog competition, everything under the sun. They have some. How would you feel? You're going into journalism, and you're like, I caught my big break at ESPN. Okay, you can go to South Carolina to commentate on the dodgeball championship. Like,
Say, how,
it
how'd
could
you
be
get
fun, but
like
it's just like,
your big break? Was it covering some big college basketball game? No, I commented the marble run on ESPN 8 the Ocho.
yeah, they had
The Ocho.
they had the Sanders, the electric Sanders, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They had races. They had races for those. Like that's just the type on ESPN 8, and it is fantastic.
I'd be all in on that.
We have so much stuff on our DVR from the days that they do ESPN 8. It's amazing.
Hey, honey, you want to watch the Sweet 16? No, we got belt sander races on DVR. We got to catch those tonight.
Speaking
Yep. And then
of
we have to
random
pick.
races, I saw a baseball game this weekend where the babies had to race to that was electric. I think they need to have that more. I think we talked about that like that being a halftime show,
Mm-hmm.
but those never get old. Hey, here's this kid that doesn't understand. All he needs to do is crawl forward, something he does at home all the time, and now to win $100 gift card to Ben and Jerry's. Now they can't, or wherever the fuck, you know. Now they can't get this kid to crawl forward for the life of it.
It'd be more electric at a hockey game, so have to do it on slick ice.
Yeah. And they have to stay on the ice even if play continues until the baby crosses the finish line. Come on.
Can you imagine live betting on that thing? Like the odds changing nonstop.
I wouldn't say I don't even know how you'd start. I'm trying to think of a funny strategy that you could bet your baby races. You know.
At the Sioux Falls Stampede, the hockey team here in Sioux Falls,
Mhm.
once a year for one game, they turn into the Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs.
Yeah.
It's the only game of the year that sells out, and people go ape shit over it. And they have wiener dog races on the ice at intermission. And it's a big deal. Like if your dog wins the wiener dog races, like it's a celebrity.
King Wiener Dog.
The King Wiener.
Is that Keith the Wiener Dog? The winner of the 2023 Wiener Dog races?
Oh
People
yeah.
go and take photos with it.
Welcome to Sioux Falls.
Well, are you gonna get Turbo involved, or are you gonna
He's not
gonna buy a new race dog?
He's a Chihuahua.
Oh,
Yeah.
just well, I'm trying to think of what we just stretch him out a little bit. Just put a clip on one end and one on the other one. Just each day pull him a little bit, and slowly you'll get to wiener dog length.
I pull on his front paws, and Katrina pulls on his back paws a little bit every
and
day.
then you just stretch him out a little each day. I think that would work.
We'd have to take him to the El Paso Chihuahuas, the AAA baseball team down there. He'd fit in.
Oh shit! If you put that dog against any dogs and had to race, do you even think he would be close to winning?
Turbo?
Yeah.
No.
Hell of a name. I think you'd get a lot of pre-race bets. Then I think you'd reveal him, and the crowd go, "Ay caramba! I put money on that dog."
And then they'd see his surgical history on his back legs, be like, "Yeah, he ain't winning anything."
You'd get sued for misinformation.
Yeah.
For they sued Barstool and Big Cat because he made a jokingly like can't lose parlay, and they said, well, you can't lose. You're doing that with his name being Turbo.
Yeah.
But he of course would lose to a Chihuahua named like Andale or something. You know.
Yep.
That's what I bet on, anyways.
You put me in a bad mood, Bryant.
Like because I mentioned Taylor Swift 10 minutes ago.
No, I'm looking through the Tim McGraw. Him wearing his Caitlin Clark jersey. That puts me in a. I'm sad.
You think like half the crowd, oh cool, yeah, Caitlin, and then the Iowa State fans just booed the shit out of him.
Get the fuck.
Hey, you can say that stuff because she can say it to the crowd, so it's fine.
Yeah.
They're all just the Iowa State fans of Crown are just yelling, "Big and Rich is better." I don't give a shit. Trying to even think of what other country acts there are.
Then all the Iowa fans are like, "You have to like her."
I promised I wasn't gonna bring her up, but you made me do this. I like Tim McGraw, and I understand the cities that they're at, but you.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, half of these subjects, when I put it in here, it's more like I don't want to keep flooding your guys' DMs with what I think is funny stuff, but I don't want to forget it either. The other thing, because I was going to share it with everyone so they know what we're talking about. Tim McGraw was wearing a Caitlin Clark jersey at a concert. Guy is in pretty good shape for his age. What is he, 58?
Yeah,
60?
he's yoked and tan.
He got sober 10 years ago or something like that, and he just became a workout fanatic after that.
Yep.
I think Iowa. What's that guy? Iowa Every J. Whoever the fuck is on the right. Eating right, exercising with a couple personal trainers and a couple injections a week is all you need. I think he's right.
Yeah.
But no, he's yoked, and you can't get mad at Tim McGraw because he's representing a female athlete.
The legit.
Ryan.
Hey, I'm completely correct.
The legit basketball sleeveless jersey pairs well with a giant belt buckle. I've always said it.
I've always said what goes well with my cowboy boots, jeans, and giant belt buckle is female athletic attire. It's peas and carrots, basically.
I promised I wasn't going to bring him today. promised. Did it
Well,
to me.
you did it to me.
I don't know why you do that, Ryan. Ryan, I don't know why you do that.
Yeah.
God.
Phenomenal.
Whatever.
Agreed.
I texted my
Only-
father-in-law and my wife, and I go drinking game. Whenever Caitlin Clark does this, take a shot and see if you can survive the hospital ride to the ER.
The shrug. Yeah, the shrug. Everyone's commenting on it, and I agree. I think it's hilarious that it shows her doing the shrugging, and they finally caught her dad going, "Shut up," because he even when you're having to be the supportive father, and like you can tell she gets a little bit of the temperament from because he gets fired up at the games. But when the other competitor in your family with the competitive nature is telling you to shut up, that should tell you like, hey, you're kind of getting a little out there. Like you just bring it in a little bit. It's 16 seed Holy Cross. Thank you for covering plus 38.5, by the way. You don't need also this is not hating. This is more like I think this would have been a bigger brag. But Pat McAfee was like, "Hey, come on the show. We're going to Iowa City," and she goes, "No, I got to focus on this game," and that's good. That is good that she's focusing on a game, no matter how small. But then it's like, it's Holy Cross Women's. You're gonna be fine. They're a 16 seed that barely won their play-in game to lose to you guys. You can do a 30-minute Pat McAfee interview, and you'll be just fine, Caitlin.
I was gonna ask you with the whole dad thing. Hilarious, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that in a game before where the is just up, supposedly even get off the court at one point?
Yeah, well, and that was at the end of the game too, which is also like you're up by 27 points. What the fuck are you still jacking up threes for? You know, and I don't think it would be, but it also lends credence to it's like, is she only out there to try and break the records? Because like, what are we? Why would you even risk being that far up, that deep into the game, and not getting some experience for some of your younger girls? And also, what if there's a game where Stoltzky or whoever is not going to be able to play? What if Caitlin rolls her ankle or something? I mean, like, I always think, why would those not be the games to get some situations worked through in real time versus a squad that doesn't hear you calling to play from the other side of the gym and having to fake act like they don't know the play that's coming. I just never get that as well. Because same thing with Iowa State. We were up by how much versus South Dakota State, and we had Taman re-injure his shoulder or tweak it a little bit, and then Hassan Ward with like a minute left, he's rolling his ankle. It's like, what are we doing with starters this late in this game, man? Let him go on a six score run at this point, but like take out some of your key people so they don't get injured.
Have you seen that before though with the parents?
What about the parents?
Have you seen that before where the parents have like scolded their kids during a national televised game?
I'll be honest. I don't know if it's just the storyline of Caitlin, but I've never seen an athlete's parents more than Caitlin Clark's parents. It's weird. How often have you seen Angel Reese's parents in the crowd? Zero, probably. You know,
the one
or
time that I really so the one time, and here's where I give Angel a little more credit too, because I feel like Shaquille O'Neal is very widely respected, right? Would you agree? The only time I've ever seen like her mom is senior night when Shaquille O'Neal was there to walk around the court with her mom because they're very close. And that's like the only time I saw much attention to her mother. And I've watched a lot of games this year, which tells me to me that speaks a lot for Angel Reese if Shaquille O'Neal is tying his horse to her.
Mm-hmm. But going back to the whole point of like, I'm trying to think of like, I've been going through like, what I was also getting tired of, like in the NFL was they're cutting to Brock Purdy's parents every time. It was like, Brock Purdy isn't a Make-A-Wish quarterback, and he's getting his opportunity, and he threw in a touchdown late in the game, and everyone's happy for him. Like, he was a full season starter, but you saw his parents every time they're in the crowd, they showed him like at some point, like Harbaugh's parents, you see a few times in the crowds, but like even Iowa State this year, I maybe saw Audie Crook's mother once in a women's game. I don't know if I've ever seen Ryan. Like they focus a lot on Caitlin Clark's parents for some reason. I don't know why.
I noticed that during Iowa State football season, they showed Rocco Beck's parents a lot.
Well,
I think because, I mean, he's an NFL tight end.
NFL tight end, and his mom's a fucking smoke. Of course they're going to get her on TV as much. I'm fumbling for my controller. Pause. I got to send a funny snap to my buddies that says smoke show or just the word wood. I need to get more TiVo so I can send shit like that. Do you know how often my reflexes have slowed down where I can't pause the TV fast enough or get the camera out on my phone to like send a funny snap like that? It's the downfall of my age at this point. All 33 years, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Wait till you get my age, Bryant.
Oh, God.
Oof.
Will I make it that far?
You might not.
All the way to 36, 35?
36.
36, okay.
I'll be 37 this year.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
I think you'll be 37 before I turn 34. God, you're going to be old balls at that point, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to the next round. Indiana State's beating Cincy.
Oh, you mean the team that should have been in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah,
Okay.
Weird. Who would have thought they would have done well in the NIT?
Yeah. Net ranking of 26, but they're not top 68 in the country. Okay.
Thank God we got Virginia in the tournament, though.
Yeah. Who didn't score for 56 minutes of in real time.
You know what the worst thing is also Michigan State shouldn't have been in, but they're always going to let them
Then
in.
they won.
Yeah. But they won one game versus a 9 seed, and they go, that's why you get them in the tournament. It's like, anyone can win a coin flip game, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, and then guess what? They played some real competition, got absolutely just fucking dominated. It's like, that's why they're not in the tournament, or shouldn't have been in.
Yep.
You know, am I saying North Carolina wouldn't have done that to many teams? No, because looking at this tournament, this was about as chalk as you could have, which is just going to make a great end of the tournament here. But like, I don't know, those teams really stick out when it's like, honestly, maybe leave Michigan State out so they can get their heads out and Tom Izzo can either get the fire back or get some recruiting or do better next year and get an interesting team. You know, I bet you if you would have, hey, America, who do you want, Indiana State or Michigan State? It would have been 70-30 Indiana State minimum. The only other ones would have been purely voting for being a fan of Michigan State, being a fan of Izzo, or being a fan of the Big Ten Conference, knowing that it would make them more money.
Yep. So you want to hear a little stat about the tournament being chalk? The women's tournament. Have you heard this?
I'm ready.
You know, first round, there's 32 games, right?
Yeah.
31 of them, the lower seed won.
Yeah.
The only one was Middle Tennessee, whoever played LSU.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, that was the only higher seeded team to win in the first 32 games.
Huh.
Explains why I did so awful. Wait, so Joey was bragging about doing so well in the women's bracket, and he just picked all the favorites the first round. What the fuck? I thought this kid did some research, and I was like, holy shit! No, he just picked the higher seed every time. Oh my god!
Moneyline Mahoski strikes again.
If he made it this far, Joey, you can call us shitheads if you like. But an hour, 10 minutes in, I don't know if he makes it this far. The bots have made it this far, though. Thankfully.
Yeah, the bots are here.
Thanks, bots.
Hey, tell your bot friends. There's only 17 of y'all on there.
Is there really?
There's 17 on Twitter, which I'm assuming are all bots.
Your bot buds.
Hey, I respect it.
Yeah.
So, well, shit, man. I'll be honest. I'm getting a little pooped. What else we want to chat about here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Fairly short.
Yeah, we might as well.
Still over an hour.
Get the wrap it up
Might-
box out.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, we'll call it a day. We'll probably do it next week, huh?
Yeah.
Do next week. You guys have amateur hour tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Can't be podding on Thursday during the game.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The following week, Trent probably won't either be here to do it because uh
Boom,
hello friends.
boom, 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 boom.
Hello, friends.
Yeah.
We'll be in a little place called Augusta.
Did that sound like the beautiful piano on CBS there?
Oh,
It
I
did.
know what.
Gave me chills. It gave me chills. For
Yeah.
sure.
Good, 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 good.
So yeah, I'll be first in Myrtle Beach and then meeting Trent over in Augusta. So
Well,
I
we
won't be
better
around
be
to do
getting a
pod.
shit ton of photos from that, Ryan.
So the problem with the Masters is you cannot take phones with you there. Like
Okay.
you take it with you, it's gone.
I thought you could for
I
practice rounds, though.
Nope, not for practice rounds. You can take regular cameras to practice rounds. So I do not own a camera,
I don't
but
either.
my parents do, so I stole theirs. I had to buy a charger for them because they don't have the charger for it. So I will have an actual camera with. Um, well, yeah, we should have plenty of pictures. I don't know how I'm going to upload them, but they'll be there.
Digital camera or the disposable?
A digital camera. I can afford a $10 disposable. There's no zoom or anything, but
Oh yeah, I kind of miss those though. The firm but very clearly cheap plastic. The
mhm.
the sound. I kind of miss that.
That's what I used for the very first PGA tournament I ever went to. Well, it was the PGA Championship in Minnesota. That
Mhm.
was before. I mean, that was 2008, so that was before smartphones really were a thing. And yeah, bought a couple disposable cameras, and the image quality completely terrible. But got those pictures of tigers, so I think they might be a little more high definition this time.
Okay, I'm going to real quick now that we're talking about disposable cameras. Whenever I don't know, I really like to just look. So this is what I'm talking about, by the way. Two Kodak Fun Saver cameras.
Oh
How much
yeah,
do you think those are?
$20 a piece.
Pretty $30 total.
Jeez.
Nice.
Really?
There's another one here, and you're closer to it. The Kodak Max one time use power flash here. $71 for those four cameras.
Mm.
Which the more I'm actually talking about, that's not terrible, but like I felt like they were like way cheaper. Like that's almost you're paying for the nostalgia at that point.
Do you think
I
if
want to
you like
know.
take pictures on that thing and bring it into Walgreens and like you give it to the 15-year-old working behind the counter and they like, I gotta go find the 50-year-old.
Is this a Zune?
Yeah.
I want to know who this order is for. Can it show? Is it gonna show?
Oh
Who
Oh,
yeah.
is ordering 8 disposable cameras, 400 exposure, 400 total, $128? Who needs 8 disposable cameras?
You order them that way we all can have two of them for Augusta.
I'm kind of thinking I need some disposable cameras now, boys. Kind of be you pull that one out. You go out bar hopping and you pull that out at whatever, and you take a pic, and people look over and they hear the distinct click of it. I think you get some ladies talking with you. Hey, check this thing. I remember these things 15 years ago. Yeah, you got this camera all you want, but look at this Kodak. Look at
I'm gonna
this
keep
Fujifilm,
just
ladies.
keep one of those on me at all time. That way, if I ever see a celebrity, I'm gonna walk. Hey, will you take a selfie with me? And then pull that thing out of my pocket.
This is amazing.
Be
So,
awesome.
like, the reviews on this are hilarious. Make sure you look into a place that develops these cameras and ask for pricing, as it cost me $200 for developing alone. The cost of per that the total cost to have these for my wedding was $400. Make sure your guests turn on the flash or in the dark, or photos will be black. Number one, no shit. Turn on the flash. Duh. But maybe it's one of those deals where you put a disposable camera on the table and people
Mhm.
like But
I'm just saying, like, people who are getting married, say they're young, early 20s, and their friends are in their early 20s. That's sitting at their table. They probably never seen one of those before.
Yeah.
They had no idea how to use it.
Is this a GameCube?
Yeah,
What the hell is this?
way to fix this. This review was in 2023. You know what you can do? We have these things. Hashtag whatever your stupid wedding is, and put it on social media or whatever. Like you can download it that way. It's you deserve to have to spend $400 on this. Julie Tatarka, I hope your wedding was great.
Whoa, Julie Tatarka catching strays? Golly.
Can we? Okay, we need to find Julie. We need to
This
find.
will definitely
Julie
get back to her.
We need to invite Julie on for an interview. Can we please
Yeah.
get Julie
What
on?
were
the line?
you thinking?
Oh,
Julie,
here's another.
Why are you dumb?
Here's an here's another genius. I bought these for my wedding. I just got them all developed over the past couple weeks, and almost none of the photos came out well. No shit. I mean, Allie McWilliams. Okay, $300 wasted for cameras and development. Again, this is on you, Allie McWilliams.
$300 was the most expensive part of their wedding.
Damn.
Disposable cameras.
How much
You
do
know
you
what?
think the Wendy's they catered in was? 260?
Like,
To be honest,
that-
other than Katrina's dress and our rings, that probably was $300 would have been about the most expensive part.
Yeah.
oh, this poor lady Karen. So excited to use these for my sister's bachelorette week, and can't wait to see all the candid pics the girls catch with these cameras. Karen, you're about to have a terrible, terrible time when you get those developed.
Should we just reply to that and warn her now?
Is this my
No.
thing now? Am I just gonna find a product on Amazon that's just outdated and stupid and just grill people? Is this my thing?
Back in my day. Well, then you're gonna hate the last thing I bought off Amazon, man. I bought the did I send you photos of the degenerate horse racing that we were doing during March Madness?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I bought that. I just have a spare game of that now. I can have horse races whenever I want.
That's hilarious. I can
Well-
respect that.
We'll add that to amateur hour, and I'm just gonna set up a camera here and we'll just, for an hour stream horse races.
We'll bet on those.
Yeah, we'll get on Twitch. We'll set up. They can send us bits.
Everybody,
They can give us follows.
everybody, get your Venmos in. We're racing the horses.
All right, so here's this 8-pack again. I think it's a different. Oh, it's a 10-pack. It's a different brand. A 10-pack for $126. Okay, so we got that.
Yeah.
This first review. Terrible. Do not recommend. Ordered for a May wedding. When we got them developed, the picture quality was terrible. It looked like some of the cameras allowed light onto the film and parts of the pictures were overexposed. Even the cameras that didn't have the defect produced grainy and unusable pictures. Don't waste your money. Okay. Oh, and it continues. Don't waste your money and just make use of the many, many cell phone cameras that will be at your event. Again, no shit, Sherlock. Like,
Where's the USB port on this thing?
How do you charge it?
Yeah, how do you charge it?
like maybe I'm
Why
gonna
doesn't it fit in my pocket as well?
I'm gonna become a wedding consultant, and my specialty will be telling people not to spend $400 on disposable cameras.
I feel like the wedding thing with setting those on the table at your wedding party is keeping the disposable camera industry alive.
Yeah, who buys these things anymore?
That's
Apparently brides.
Nostalgist.
Yeah, I'm being mean right now. I shouldn't be so mean, but this just seems like the most situation.
I can't wait to buy a camera and then prove to you how good of a deal it actually is.
Okay, this was.
You're gonna have a tough time doing that, Bryant.
But for $200 to develop film, you'd probably be better just to like buy a red light or whatever the hell they are and develop it
Or
yourself.
you could take probably 500 photos on this, and on the Walgreens app, send them to it and have them developed for probably under $200.
These
How much
people
is
are
it per
upset.
photo?
It's cheap.
Okay.
These people are all upset because there's 10 cameras in this pack, and it looks like an average of 4 don't work. So again, make sure your cameras are working, people.
Do you know
Well,
what camera
like
does work
Meatloaf said,
100%
6 out
of the
of 10
time?
ain't bad. Is that how the song goes? I think. Let's wrap her up.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'll find a new product to just obliterate people on, and we need to find Tatanka or whatever her name was and get her on here for an interview.
The new segment, Ryan hates shit. Golly.
We'll end the pod on that every week now.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Everyone have a great week.